Scott and
Hey, nice to see you. Just got a fresh cut. Hey, Tim.
yep. A couple minutes late, but it was worth it. Here we go.
Well, welcome to Inside the Ice, guys. Apologies for not being on last night, but we're here today on a special makeup time, Friday afternoon. It's nice. It's nice going live earlier in the day. I like it. Um, we are here to bring you number 40 to 21 of our top 50 NHL players.
Yeah, and we got a handful of great players going on now. So do you just want to jump right into it since we get started a couple minutes late?
Yeah, I was looking at these stats that you sent me here, Tim, and these guys, like, you don't really know how good players are until you read all their stats, and you're like, holy crap, like, half these players are a hell of a lot better than I thought they were.
Oh
But
yeah,
um, but yeah, let's get right into it. Number 40, we are going to start with, continuing from last week, number 40 on our top 50 countdown, defenseman from the San Jose Sharks, Erik Karlsson. Erik Karlsson is 30 years old. He was a 15th overall draft pick of the 2008 Ottawa Senators, and he's had quite a career, actually. Last season, 40 points he had in 56 games for a minus 15. Over the course of the last 3 years, 147 points, including 129 of those were assists. So you can tell he's not really a goal scorer, but he's a defenseman. 18 goals, 129 assists, 147 points, and a minus 34 over the last 3 years. But over his career, Erik Karlsson is 603 points in 736 games played, and that for a defenseman is wild.
yeah. Especially looking at his plus minus, that's what sticks out to me is he's a minus 45 in his entire career. But I guess that's what comes with being an offensive defenseman, is he's always
Yeah,
given chances, and he's got 603 points, so that's incredible for a defenseman. He's only 30 years old too.
603 points in 736 games. That's almost like what a decent forward puts up. And of that 603 career points, 468 of those are assists, which is wild.
Yeah, and six-time All-Star. He's won the Norris twice in
Mm-hmm.
2012,
Mm-hmm.
2015. He was a Norris finalist in 16 and 17. So he's definitely one of the elite defensemen in the NHL. Granted, maybe the past couple years he's been a little slow due to injury and due to the fact that the Sharks have sucked the past couple years.
Well, that's the thing. And you look at it, a lot of people were quick to bash Erik Karlsson this year. Like, obviously, he didn't have his best season, 40 points in 56 games. But you look at the team he was on, the Sharks were not good this year. Like, Karlsson played as good as he could given the team that he had.
And internationally, he's good too. 2007, he won gold for the U18 for Sweden. And then 2010 in the World Cup, he won bronze and a silver Olympic medal in 2014. And
Mm-hmm.
in the Olympics, he was also on the All-Star team and the best defenseman in the Olympics.
Yeah, and Erik Karlsson is also the first European-born player to join our countdown. Swedish national, one of the better players to come from Sweden, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So number 39, another European player, but from Finland, Patrick Laine. He's only 22 years old. He was drafted second overall in 2016 by Winnipeg. And this past season, in 68 games played, he put up 63 points with a plus minus of +8. And over the course of his career, he's played already over 300 games and posted almost 250 points with 138 goals and 109 assists.
Yeah, Laine is definitely an elite player. I mean, there were talks, obviously, Tim, of Laine possibly being traded this year. I don't see that happening. I think Winnipeg's gonna want to hang on to him because given the numbers that he has, 247 points in 305 career games, 52 of those of his 138 career goals were on the power play. So that's wild. And you look at Laine, he was a Calder Trophy finalist in 2017. He was also an All-Star in 2017. And then over the last 3 years, 183 points in 232 games. Definitely, an elite player. And 102 of those were goals. But Laine has definitely proven himself as a top goal scorer in this league for sure.
Absolutely, and he's not a small person either. He's 6'5", 206 pounds, so he's a good size forward for the Winnipeg. I don't see why they would want to get rid of a player like him, especially at just 2 years old.
And Winnipeg fans will be the first to I live just down the highway from Winnipeg, and Winnipeg Jets fans are quick to say Laine is better than Matthews. That is a bunch of bull. Laine is a great player. He's nowhere near close to the caliber of Matthews. It's just like comparing, Jack Eichel with Connor McDavid. Jack Eichel is a great player. Don't get me wrong. He's the best thing that happened to the Sabres, but he's nowhere near on the level of Connor McDavid. And that kind of the two top picks of 2015 and the two top picks of 2016 are definitely, they're compared with each other a lot. But Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid are definitely proved why they went number one. Patrick Laine also proved why he went number two in 2016.
Yeah, absolutely.
38, we have another Finnish national, Alexander Barkov, captain of the Florida Panthers. He is 6'3", 212 pounds, so another decent-sized forward there, 25 years old. He spent his entire career with Florida, second overall in 2013. Last season, he had 62 points in 66 games played, so almost a point per game. Barkov, I have always said this about Alexander Barkov, but he is probably one of the most underrated players in the National Hockey League. And his stats definitely prove it.
Absolutely. And like you said, his stats prove it. Looking at his stats this past season, he put up 62 points on a Florida Panthers team. He was an all-star in 2018, and he's got 247 points over the course of his career. And Florida has been the greatest team, but yet he's been a great asset to the team and one of the main reasons that they're even in serious contention of being a playoff team.
Yeah, and you said he has 247 points over his career. I did notice that those numbers are actually incorrect. I think you might have mixed it up with Patrick Laine there. But I did some research here before the show, and Alexander Barkov is actually 155 goals, 252 assists, and 407 points in 479 games. So, I mean, either way, he's still, he's got over 400 points in over 400 games. He's definitely a very elite player. One thing that really stands out to me, though, about Barkov is look at his numbers over the course of the last 3 seasons. He is more than a point per game player.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
236 points in 227 games over the last 3 seasons. So, I mean, definitely, and I think that has something to do with the market he plays in. Florida Panthers is not a big market at all, which could be part of the reason why Barkov is as underrated as he is. But, if Barkov went to, someone like the Leafs or the Rangers or even the Bruins, where it's a bigger market and a bigger hockey city, he would definitely get a lot more attention than what he's getting down in Miami right now.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about it. Florida is not a market at all for hockey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, Barkov, internationally playing with Finland, 2014 Olympics bronze medal, and then in the World Cup of Hockey, he got silver in 2016. So definitely his fair share of accomplishments. He was also a Lady Byng recipient in 2019, which goes to, I believe, the most sportsmanlike player over the season. So definitely, if I had to pick the only other person I can think of to be a possible captain for the Panthers other than Barkov would be either Huberdeau or Ekblad.
Yeah.
But either one of those players, Barkov is definitely he's proven that he's a leader, and definitely a great offensive player for sure for the Panthers.
Absolutely. So number 37, we have Johnny Gaudreau of the Calgary Flames. He's only 27 years old, and he did face a lot of criticism coming into the NHL, having been only 5'9" and a smaller forward. But he's proven that he's a deadly scorer, having scored 444 points over the course of 464 games played in the course of his career.
Mhm.
Last year, he put up 58 points in 70 games for Calgary, and they went on into the playoffs. But his best season was also last 2019, where he put 99 points up in 82 games played between 36 goals and 63 assists.
Yeah, he's a beast for Calgary for sure. And I mean, a lot of people always talk about, small guys not really having much success in hockey, but Johnny Gaudreau has basically shut all those naysayers up because he's 5'9", 165 pounds. So he's definitely a small guy, but I mean, he definitely doesn't let his size take advantage of him because over the course of the last 3 seasons, 241 points in 232 games. So he's another point per game player over the last 3 seasons, and a 10 plus minus over the last 3 seasons, which is incredible for a guy as small as Johnny Gaudreau.
What sticks out to me is he was drafted 104th overall, and now
Mm-hmm.
now he's one of the main scorers in the NHL.
And he's definitely, Johnny Gaudreau is probably the best player on the Calgary Flames. You could argue, obviously you have Matthew Tkachuk, who's great. You have Sean Monahan, who's great for the Flames. But no one on the Flames, I feel, is as consistent as Johnny Gaudreau has been. Like you said, he put up 99 points last season. He's almost averaging a point per game in his career, 445 points in 464 games. He's a 5-time All-Star. He's got a Lady Byng trophy under his belt, so he's definitely been a consistent player for the Calgary Flames. And for a guy that's been drafted 104th overall, all he's missing to really solidify his legacy as a great player is a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, and I hate to say this, but that might be hard to come by in Calgary right now.
Yeah, absolutely. But internationally for Johnny Gaudreau, World Juniors gold, to which he was an all-star in the World Juniors in 2013, and then 2018 bronze medal in the World Cup of Hockey. So he did find some success with the U.S. national team, but Johnny Gaudreau is definitely lighting it up in Calgary, one of the best players. That's probably the nicest thing you'll ever hear me say about anyone from Calgary because I'm an Oilers fan. But definitely, Johnny Gaudreau is a great player for sure. We're going to move on to Taylor Hall, number 36, a former first overall draft pick of the 2010 Edmonton Oilers. This one is interesting to me because, Taylor Hall, when we were kind of going over this list, I didn't want to put Taylor Hall on the list specifically because, he has that reputation of, being a quote unquote cancer on teams that he goes to. Every team that he's been on has not been good. But you look at the teams he's been on. When the Oilers drafted him in 2010, throughout the entire time he was with the Oilers were god awful. They were an absolute shit team. They were no good at all. Then he got traded in obviously the 1-for-1 trade with New Jersey. New Jersey was god awful. Then he went to Arizona, and they had a hot start to last season, but then Taylor Hall came and they gradually slowed down, and now he's with Buffalo, who hasn't made the playoffs in 10 years. So I mean, it's not like Taylor Hall's been going to like elite Stanley Cup contending teams. But you look at his stats, like last season, he had 52 points split between the Devils and Coyotes last year in 65 games. And over the last 3 seasons, he's over a point per game player over the last 3 seasons, 184 points in 174 games, split between 68 goals and 116 assists.
And the stat that I find interesting about last season is if you look at the plus minus, when he was with, he had a minus 11. When he's with Arizona, he was a minus 3. So yeah, he was still a minus, but put him on a better team, and he's proven that he can do better. Like you said, he has yet to be on a team that was good. Like it was not like he signed with Colorado this offseason. He signed with Buffalo. Yeah, Buffalo is up and coming, but how long has Buffalo been on the up and coming for,
Yeah.
So over the course of his career, he's almost a point per game player on god awful teams, 563 points in 627 games.
See, and to me, like Taylor Hall signing with Buffalo to me, it's kind of more of a prove it deal. You know what I mean? Like they signed him to a 1-year, $8 million contract, which is fine. But Buffalo's all in. They're sick of not making the playoffs. They want to make the playoffs. Now they've got Taylor Hall to ride shotgun with possibly Jack Eichel, but Taylor Hall definitely gives Buffalo a better chance. But one thing that Buffalo has to do, they always start off hot every single season for the
Yeah.
past 2 or
Yeah.
3 seasons, and then they just slow down and they end up missing the playoffs. Buffalo's got to start out hot and stay hot. And I think Taylor Hall, given that Coach Ralph Kruger puts him on the right line mates, he might be able to help them kind of stay hot because he is a point per game player over the last 3 seasons. And I think if he can find a success with Buffalo, Buffalo might have a chance at possibly making the playoffs. But then again, you're in the Atlantic Division against Toronto, Tampa, and Boston. So right there, you gotta
right there. But look at best season in 2018 where the Devils actually went to the playoffs, I believe, and he put 3 points in 76 games. He won the Hart Trophy. He was first team All-Star, and he's a All-Star. That he's a legit player. I just really think he's been on some shitty teams.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously Taylor Hall has had a ton of international success. It's just his international success didn't translate over to NHL, obviously. But 6 gold medals playing internationally for Team Canada. That's split between the World Juniors. He won three gold medals with the World Juniors. He won a couple with the World Cup, and then he won one under the U17 World Championship. So definitely, the 6 gold medals for Taylor Hall definitely makes him number 36, and that's a big reason why he was number 36 on this countdown for sure.
So number 35, we're moving on to Ryan O'Reilly, last year's Conn Smythe winner with the St. Louis Blues. He's only 9 years old, was drafted 33rd overall in the 2009 draft by Colorado. This past season, he put up 61 points between 12 goals and 49 assists in 71 games.
Yeah.
And over the course of the past 3 seasons between Buffalo and St. Louis, he's played 234 games and recorded 199 points with a 10 plus minus.
Great numbers.
Absolutely. And this guy, as much as it pains me to say this because he obviously achieved success against the Boston Bruins, but it's a great story from where he was at one point in Buffalo to where he is now, a Conn Smythe winner, Stanley Cup winner. At this point, a 3-time All-Star.
Selk nominee, or Selk winner, actually, in 2019.
Selke the same year. He won the
Cup.
Yeah. Selke in the same year.
Yeah. I mean, 2019, he had a beast year. That year that they won the Cup, in 27 games played, he had 23 points. 2 of those were game-winning goals, 8 goals, 15 assists. He won the Selke, the Stanley Cup, the Conn Smythe. He was an all-star all in 2019. So he was definitely, he had a beast of a year in 2019. And over the course of his career, 560 points over 804 games. And, he is a minus 20. Looking at his plus minus, though, he was like a negative 60 before he went to St. Louis. So he's definitely chipping away at that, being with St. Louis, but definitely one of the Blues' better players. Tarasenko obviously has missed a lot of time, which, I mean, if Tarasenko wasn't injured for as much as he was over the last 3 seasons, he probably would have been on this countdown. But between Ryan O'Reilly, Vladimir Tarasenko, Alex Pietrangelo before he got traded, I mean, the St. Louis Blues were an absolute force in the Central Division.
Oh, absolutely. And internationally, he won the gold in 2008 U17 for Canada, 2008 U18 gold, and then 2015, 16, and 17 all gold for Canada. He's just like Taylor Hall, where it seems anything he does representing Team Canada, he wins.
Turns to gold. Yeah, exactly. Ryan O'Reilly and Taylor Hall have got definitely similar success internationally for sure. Which proves that why he's number 35 on the countdown. He's a great player, helps the St. Louis Blues. The Blues lean on him for his offensive support and international success, definitely. We're gonna move to number 34 now. Another defenseman for the San Jose Sharks, Brent Burns, who is, you can also make the argument that he's a very offensive defenseman. 6'5", he's another big body, 230 pounds, 35 years old, drafted 20th overall by the Minnesota Wild. spent the first 7 years of his career there, and then was traded to the San Jose Sharks, where he spent the past 9 seasons. Over the course of 1,113 career games, he's got 210 goals, 484 assists, 694 points, 74 power play goals, 39 game winners, and a -7. So definitely very, very not too shabby career numbers there for Brent Burns. And over the course of the last 3 seasons, 195 points, -25, and that's over 234 games.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable player. I think what's interesting is he actually started out as a forward in the NHL for
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
He was, and then they put him on defense. But it makes sense, he's 6'5", 230. He's a 6-time All-Star. He was on the first team All-Star in 17 and 19 and won the Norris in 2017 and was a Norris finalist in 2016 and 2019. So
he's consistently, Brent Burns seems like he's consistently in the Norris conversation every single year. And I mean, looking at his stats, it proves why for sure.
Each year he's there. And just like Erik Karlsson, he might have had a low year this past year, only putting up 45 points in 70 games. But look at where the San Jose Sharks are. They're not a defenseman is going to put up a lot of points.
Yeah, absolutely. And then internationally, Brent Burns, obviously, 2004 World Junior silver medal. So he didn't get that gold playing World Juniors, but he does have another silver in the 2008 World Cup. He's got gold in the 2015 World Cup, and also in the 2008 during the 2008 Team Canada silver team and the 2015 Team Canada gold team. Brent Burns was the best defenseman at both of those tournaments. He was nominated and won best defenseman. So and he was also a 2015 All-Star at the World Cup. So he's definitely and he won 2016 gold at the World Hockey Championship. So definitely had that success playing with Team Canada internationally.
What's incredible is he was the best defenseman at 2 different international tournaments 7 years apart. It's not like it was back-to-back years. Like 7 years apart, he was nominated best defenseman.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, 2015, he was 30 years old.
Yeah.
So to come out and win best defenseman as a 30-year-old defenseman definitely proves, how elite he is in this league for sure.
Absolutely.
Your turn. Sorry, go ahead.
So number 33, Tyler Seguin of Dallas Stars. I really thought that he was older than this, but I guess that's just because he started at such a young age. But he's only 28 years old, drafted 2nd overall in 2010 by Boston. Last season, leading the Stars to the Stanley Cup Finals, he had 50 points in 69 games. The past 3 years, out of 233 games played, he scored 90 goals and 118 assists and recorded a plus-minus of +27. Over the course of his career, spending 3 years in Boston and 7 years in Dallas, he played 741 games and put up 635 points with a plus-minus of +82.
Yeah. I mean, that plus-minus of 82 really stands out for me because what that means is that he was on the ice for an even strength goal 82 times more than when he was off the ice. So I mean that just proves like how good he is at even strength. And the 78 power play goals, definitely he's great on the power play. He's on that first power play unit over in Dallas.
It's unbelievable. 6-time All-Star. He won the Cup in 2011 as an 18-year-old, where he played 13 games in that playoff, scoring 3 goals and 4 assists. He lost the finals in 2013, and he lost in 2020, like I said. But even in it's unbelievable the career that he's had because I didn't realize that he's played in 3 different Cup finals.
Yeah, he's played on 3 different Cup finals for sure. I didn't even know he was a Stanley Cup winner, but I guess he would have been on that 2011 Stanley Cup winning team in Boston. But yeah, definitely. And that Tyler Seguin wants that cup with Dallas. He's been he spent the first, I believe, 2 or 3 seasons with Boston, 3 years with Boston. So I mean, he did win the cup in 2011 and made it to the finals in 2013, but the prime of his career is with Dallas, and this is the time where he is really considered as an elite player in the league. And to solidify his career, he really wants to win that cup in Dallas. So it was kind of heartbreaking to see them lose to Tampa this year. But, Dallas has a great team. If they can keep that core together, they're definitely going to win one for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And like you said, I think he wants to win for Dallas because when he won with Boston, he was like 18. He was a young kid. He
Yeah.
wasn't the star of the team. But
Mhm.
like when he came into the playoffs against Tampa, he scored, I want to say 2 or 3 goals in his first 2 games, and that was the conference finals. So
Yeah.
that's really made a name for himself, was when he was scoring goals in the conference finals at 18 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, definitely. I mean, he has had some success internationally too. Again, he's only played in 2 really international tournaments, but he won gold at the 2009 U17s in Canada, and then the 2015 gold medal on the World Cup. So definitely some golds there for Tyler Seguin playing internationally with Team Canada. Number 32 on the countdown, just signed with Vegas Golden Knights this offseason, but former St. Louis draft pick, 4th overall in 2008, defenseman Alex Pietrangelo, 30 years old. Again, I kind of thought he was older than 30, but he's 6'3", 210 pounds, so a big body there. But Alex Pietrangelo is, I believe, the first member or the first player on our countdown to be a member of the Triple Gold Club. Triple Gold Club, for those of you watching and don't know what that is, Triple Gold Club is a Stanley Cup, an Olympic gold, and a World Cup gold. And Alex Pietrangelo has accomplished all 3 of those things. He won the Stanley Cup in 2019. He won Olympic gold with Team Canada in 2014, and he won World Cup gold with Team Canada in 2016. He also got back-to-back medals in the 2009 and 2010 World Juniors, winning a gold and a silver. Alex Pietrangelo is definitely an elite player over the course of his career. 450 points split between 109 goals, 341 assists in 758 games, plus 77, which is unreal. And it definitely shows me that Vegas is getting a very, very elite defenseman. They went after Pietrangelo. They fought for him. They finally got him. This Pietrangelo is going to make Vegas even more scary than they already are.
Oh yeah, I think Pietrangelo is definitely underrated. I didn't even know his plus minus was that well. And for a defense, believable. It's plus 77. He's 14 game winning goals, 21 power play goals over the course of his career. And this past season, he put up 52 points in 70 games. He was definitely a key piece of the Blues winning the Cup in 2019.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, Pietrangelo scored the game-winning goal in Game 7 of the 2019 Stanley Cup Finals against Boston. So he was definitely clutch in bringing that Stanley Cup to St. Louis, winning the Blues their first Stanley Cup. I know that kind of pains you to hear there, Tim, as a Bruins fan. But Pietrangelo is a great player for sure.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me, you fucking asshole.
Number 31, Tim.
Yeah, from your favorite team, Toronto, Mitch Marner, 23 years old, drafted 4th overall in 2015. This past season, he put up 67 points in 59 games. And he's already played 300 games in his career and posted 291 points. So not bad for a young kid.
Yeah.
He is plus 27 plus minus, which is pretty incredible because most forwards like that don't get good plus minuses when they're on a team like Toronto with no defense. His best season did come in 2019 where he put up 94 points in 82 games played. And he was on the All-Star team last year and was on the All-Rookie team in 2017.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at like you said, the best season was last season, 2019, 94 points in 82 games. And I mean, you look at Mitch Marner right before that season, he held out because, he wanted that big money. Or right after. He had 94 points in 82 games. Leafs lost out first round like they always do. And then that off season, his contract was up. He demanded that big money. Leafs didn't really have the cap space. Marner kind of held out. Finally, they signed him, I believe, to north of $10 million a year. But it definitely shows why Mitch Marner demanded to be paid as much as he did, because 291 points over the course of 300 career games and a plus 27. That's a valuable player to any team.
Absolutely. And like he's only 23 years old and
Yeah.
he's played so 300 games played. That's what, 3 seasons, 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And he's already got 291 points. He's going to be a great asset to Toronto if they can keep him.
Yeah, and I mean he's definitely he's averaged over the last 3 years 210 points over 223 games. So he's right around that point per game average every single season over his last 3 years and over his career. So definitely Mitch Marner is one of the better players on the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Leafs are definitely lucky to have him. Lucky they paid him what they did, and he's going to be around with his hometown team for another 6 years.
Absolutely.
Number 30, Mark Scheifele, centerman for the Winnipeg Jets, taken 7th overall by Winnipeg in 2014, I believe, 2014 or 2015. 2019-20 last season, 73 points over 71 games, so more than a point per game. That was split between 29 goals and 44 assists and a +2. Over the last 3 years, 217 points in 213 games, split between 90 goals, 127 assists, and a +29. What really stands out to me over his career, he's 444 points over 519 games. But what really stands out is a +83. That's unreal for a centerman for Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, and like you said, the Winnipeg Jets, I never envisioned the center being a +83, but he's a hell of a centerman, and I can't remember really anytime seeing the other team score when he's on the ice. Mm-hmm. He's got 49 power play goals and 27 game-winning goals. I think at times he's more valuable than Patrik Laine to the Winnipeg Jets.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at the Winnipeg Jets, they're stacked on forward. They've got Scheifele, they've got Kyle Connor, Laine, Blake Wheeler, Nick Ehlers, just a few off the top of my head. But they've definitely, they've got a great forward core there. They just need to kind of solidify their blue line. They've got Connor Hellebuyck as a goaltender. He's going to be their starter for probably, definitely a few more seasons. All the pieces are there for Winnipeg Jets to have success. I solely believe if they can solidify their blue line, they're going to be a contender for sure in that Central Division. Competing against teams like the Colorado Avalanche, St. Louis Blues, Dallas Stars. Winnipeg can definitely compete with all of those teams if they get a decent blue line.
Yeah, and that division is no joke either. Like the teams you named, throw in Nashville too. Minnesota's hot and cold. When Seattle comes into the league, Arizona is going to move to the Central. So, like that division is a stacked division. So Winnipeg definitely needs to hold on to this guy.
Yeah,
now we're jumping into the 20s, and I believe this is the first goalie in a decent amount of players that we've done. Carey Price, 33 years old, of the Montreal Canadiens. As much as I hate to do a Canadian, drafted in 2005, 5th overall by Montreal. He's played 682 games for the Canadiens, recorded 348 wins, and posting a 2.49 goals against average and a .917 save percentage, along with 48 shutouts. This past season, he played 58 games, getting 27 wins, recording 4 shutouts, and posting a save percentage of .909. For the Montreal Canadiens team that hasn't been at the greatest the past couple of years, I think Carey Price is their only saving grace over the last couple of years. So if Montreal can keep him, I definitely see him finishing out his career, and he's a hell of a goalie as much as that pains to say me.
That year that Montreal had their cup run in 2015, you just kind of brought that up. He had a 1.96 goals against average that whole season in 66 games played, 44 wins, .933 save percentage. He was an absolute monster in net. He also won the Vezina, the Ted Lindsay, the Jennings Award, and the Hart Trophy that same year. So he definitely brought in his fair share of silverware. 7-time All-Star, Vezina finalist in 2017. Like the guy's got everything but a Stanley Cup. And quite honestly, between me and you, Tim, I don't think he's going to win that Stanley Cup as long as he's a member of the Montreal Canadiens.
No, I definitely don't think that, and that's sad because he's definitely a Hall of Fame goalie. There's not even out that. and you look at his international stats, anytime he plays internationally, he stands on his head. 2014 Olympics, 5 games played, 5 wins, .59 goals against average, .972 save percentage, 2 shutouts, and 3 goals against total.
3 goals against in 5 games is nuts.
But 3
Absolutely.
goals and 2 shutouts. Like, no shit, Canada's gonna win on top of the team that they have. Like,
yeah. And he was the Olympics' best goalie. I mean, definitely with those numbers, you can see why. 2016 World Championships gold. He won World Juniors gold in 2005. Gold again in
Didn't Canada
2007.
lose to like Finland or something?
Not in the Olympics.
no, they
Not in the Olympics. They got gold in 2014.
yeah, they won gold.
They
in
lost to
2010.
Finland. You're thinking probably World Hockey Championships. I know they lost to Finland in Worlds, but not the Olympics. Olympics they won in 2010 in Vancouver, and they won 2014 in Sochi.
And then Russia won in 2018, right?
Yes, but there was no NHL. But
that
doesn't even count because there was no NHL players at those Olympics. So, I mean, you bring NHL players, it's obvious Canada's going to win. Moving on to number 28 for the Chicago Blackhawks, captain of the Chicago Blackhawks, Jonathan Toews, 32 years old, 6'2", 201 pounds, drafted 3rd overall by the 2006 Chicago Blackhawks. So he's been with the Blackhawks his entire career, and he's had a great career with the Blackhawks. Another member of the Triple Gold Club, winning Olympic gold in 2014 and 2010. Winning Worlds in 2016, winning Worlds again in 2007, winning 3 Stanley Cups. The guy's been everywhere.
Conn Smythe in 2010, Selke in 2013, 3-time Selke finalist. Like you said, 3-time
5-time All-Star.
Yeah, 5-time All-Star. He's got 815 points in 943 games played, 193 plus minus.
That is wild.
193 plus minus, 80 power play goals, 66 game winning goals. Like, holy shit! I don't think that guy needs to do another thing for Chicago at all.
See, and we're sitting here talking about a plus 82, plus 83 being good, and then you look at Jonathan Toews plus 193. Like, that is wild. 815 points over 943 games. The guy is just a beast. I didn't even look at these stats, to be honest, until after I did my article on the 40 to 31, and now I'm doing the 20s. Plus 193 is wild. I've never seen that before. That's crazy.
And, like, just to think, like, he came from the University of North Dakota. That team was stacked. I remember watching that team as a kid, like a real young kid, obviously. But, like, it had Jonathan Toews, TJ Oshie was on the team at the same time. That team was just stacked. And to see the guys performing at the level that they are in the NHL is unbelievable.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Jonathan Toews, again, gold in everything internationally with Canada. U17 gold 2005, 2006. World Juniors gold 2007. World gold 2007. Another World silver in 2008. 2 Olympic gold medals. Another World Cup gold in 2016. Like, the guy's crazy. Mind you, Canada, I mean,
just like to rub in all the gold medals that Canada won.
I mean, dude, like 2010 to 2016, no one was touching those Team Canada teams at all. Like, they were all stacked. Like, that's back when Sidney Crosby was in his prime. You know, Jonathan Toews was in his prime. No one was touching Team Canada at all throughout those 6 years.
Yeah, and then Connor McDavid just has to come in and completely ruin this.
Yeah. Now, I'll let you take this next guy. For those of you watching, you think Jonathan Toews plus 193 is wild? Wait till you get a load of who Tim's going to tell you about right now.
Number 27, I actually met him when I was, let's say, 6 years old. I did you know how professional teams do, like, the 3-on-3, like, mini games before, like, an NHL game?
Yeah.
Well, he was a rookie when I did this, Patrice Bergeron, and then he came in and signed a bunch of shit. He's 35 now. Drafted 45th overall in 2003 by Boston. He put up 56 points in 61 games this past year with a plus minus of plus 23. Over the course of his career, he's played over 1,000 games, with 1,089 games played, 352 goals, 517 assists for 869 points, and a
Hit
plus
him, hit him, hit him with it, Tim. Hit him with it.
and a plus minus of 201, 107 power play goals, and 67 game winning goals. He's a five-time listen to this. He's a five-time Selke finalist, but he's won the Selke 4 times. So he's been a Selke nominee 9 times, which is unbelievable. Won the Cup in 2011, was a Cup finalist in 2013 and 2019, and a 2-time All-Star, which kind of blows my mind. How has he only been an All-Star 2 times?
2 times. And I'm just looking at the Selke. The years he won the Selke was 2012, 2014,
Can you guys
2015,
just say his name so I can put him on the screen?
Patrice
I did.
Bergeron. Yeah, he did already.
I did.
Oh, I missed that. Okay. My bad. My bad.
But yeah, like looking at the years that he won the Selke, 2012, 2014, 2015, 2017. And then every other year since 2012, 2013, 16, 18, 19, 20, he was a finalist. So every single year since 2012, he's either won the Selke or been nominated for it. Was just like the best offensive forward or the best defensive forward, best two-way forward in the game by
Easily.
far.
Way forward. The only other two-way forward I could think that would have an argument is like Claude Giroux, because he's so good at faceoffs.
Sean Couturier is another one.
Yeah. So Philly has 2 guys right there, but I mean Bergeron, bias aside, he's definitely top 3 defensive forward.
Plus 201 for Bergeron. That's wild. That is nuts.
And he's tough, and he's so tough too. Like I've seen so many playoff runs where he's all dinged up. I believe he had like broken ribs and a collapsed lung in 2019 and still played.
Yeah.
Do you think Tim likes Patrice Bergeron?
Oh, I love
little bit. Patrice Bergeron's a Canadian. How can you not love Patrice Bergeron? Everyone loves Canadians.
And he's from Quebec. So, it's that Frenchy connection,
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Speaking of Quebec, we're going to go to number 26. Another Quebec native. Drafted 3rd overall to the 2011 Florida Panthers, Jonathan Huberdeau. 27 years old, 6'1", 200 pounds. 69 games played last season with 78 points, so that's crazy. He definitely had an awesome year last year. That was split between 23 goals, 55 assists, and a +5. Over the course of the last 3 years, he's averaged more than a point per game, 80 goals, 159 assists for 239 points over 233 games with a -11. And then over his career, 437 points split between 148 goals and 289 assists over 536 games with 34 power play goals and 18 game-winning goals. So another great player, not a lifelong, but a career Florida Panther, just like Alexander Barkov so far. Definitely a guy that Florida has to keep if they want any type of success.
Absolutely. And I didn't even realize until doing this that he won the Calder in 2013. But
I didn't know that either. Wow.
Like shortened season due to the lockout, but only 48 games played, recorded 31 points. All rookie team in 2013. He was an all-star this past year. And for Canada, he hasn't really played in much representing Team Canada, just except the World Juniors in 2012 where they won the bronze.
And I think that might go with, again, playing in Florida, that non-hockey market. He doesn't really get that much attention, which sucks because like if he was on a team like I said, Toronto, New York, Boston, any team in Canada for that matter, he would be like, instead of he was an all-star last season. That was his first time being an all-star. If he was on any other big market team, he'd probably be a 4 or 5-time all-star. He would play on a lot more Team Canada teams. So I think that just goes with the small market he plays in.
And like, just look at the facts. Florida isn't the greatest team.
Yeah.
Like Toronto, the market's huge, but they're also, they get defeated in the first round every year, but they're still a top team all year round,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Other than that, though, he was an all-star, like I said, in 2020, an NHL all-rookie team in 2013. He won the Calder in 2013. which is crazy because he only in 48 games he put up 31 points.
Yeah.
But I guess that was the season that they had that lockout shortened season. But I mean, you'd think I think Connor McDavid, that's he played like 48 games or something in his first season and had like 45 points. So I mean, mind you, Huberdeau's not a McDavid, but I mean that's just it's just crazy to me. 31 points wins you a Calder.
Yeah, I guess some years the rookie class isn't as strong.
Mm-hmm.
But
you can go number 25, Tim.
it just seems like the players are landing right tonight because we got another Boston Bruins player, Tuukka Rask, 33 years old, goalie from Finland, drafted 21st overall in 2005 from Toronto. Thank you, Toronto, for this trade. This past he played 41 games, winning 26, and posting a 2.12 goals against average and a .929 save percentage with 5 shutouts. Over the course of his career, he's played 536 games and won 291 of them with a 2.26 goals against average and a .922 save percentage with 50 shutouts. He's a 2-time All-Star. He was on the first team All-Star in 2014, second team All-Star in 2020. He won the Vezina in 2014 and was a Vezina finalist this past year. What sticks out to me about Tuukka is 2 years of his playoffs were unbelievable. When the Bruins went to the Cup in 2013, he played 22 games and had a goals against average of 1.88 with a save percentage of .94 and 3 shutouts. When they went to the Cup against the Blues, he had a goals against average of 2.02 goals against and a save percentage of .934 with 2 shutouts. Without Tuukka, the Bruins do not make either of these Cup runs, and I think he's the top 3 goalie in the league, no question.
And not only that, I'm just comparing the stats between Tuukka and Carey Price because they were both drafted in 2005, the same year. Tuukka Rask has 2 more shutouts. Carey Price had 48 shutouts in his career. Tuukka Rask has 50. He's got a lower goals against average than Carey Price. He's got equal save percentage. So I mean, Tuukka Rask, that's the reason. That's the reason why he's 4 slots ahead of Carey Price because he didn't really have a whole lot of international success like Carey Price did, but he does have that Stanley Cup. He made it to the Stanley Cup in 13-19. He has that Vezina, 2-time All-Star, and he does have more playoff experience, obviously. But for Tuukka Rask to put up 50 shutouts over his career is wild.
Oh, absolutely.
So what you're telling me right now is you think that Tuukka Rask is a better hockey player all around than Patrice Bergeron?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
We wouldn't have even get past Toronto without Tuukka Rask in 2019. We've won.
If Boston didn't have Tuukka Rask, they don't have a Stanley Cup in 2011.
Well, no, that doesn't apply because Tim Thomas was the goalie, but they
That
wouldn't.
was Tim Thomas.
True.
But they wouldn't have made it in 2013, no doubt about it, and they wouldn't have made it in 2019. We wouldn't have beaten Toronto in 2019 without
the reason why
you can't say that because you could have literally had any other goalie.
No, he couldn't have.
The reason why Boston beat Toronto out in the first round
is
those 2 seasons is Tuukka stood on his head. Tuukka stood on his head both those times. In Game 7, he came to play. Freddie Anderson did not. Which kind of, I guess, lasted more on the shoulders of Freddie Anderson. But Tuukka Rask was nuts in the playoffs. He shows up in the playoffs. He without him, you don't make it to the Stanley Cup in 13 or 19. Number 24, we will go to Marc-Andre Fleury, another goaltender. He will be 36 on the 28th of November, so he's getting up there in age. He was drafted first overall in 2003 by Pittsburgh, had nothing but success in Pittsburgh. Now he plays with the Vegas Golden Knights, obviously. Last season, in 49 games played, he had 27 wins with a 2.77 goals against average, .905 save percentage, and 5 shutouts. Over his career, 61 shutouts, which is crazy. .913 save percentage, 2.57 goals against average, 466 wins in 847 games. More than half of the games he plays in, he wins.
Yeah, Marc-Andre Fleury definitely has his fair share of success.
Mhm.
5-time All-Star, 3-time Stanley Cup with the Penguins. Stanley Cup finalist once with the Penguins in 2008, and then with the Vegas Golden Knights in 2018. He is lacking a bit on individual trophies, but I think that might be because he's always been overshadowed being on a really good team. It's hard to get individual accomplishments when you're playing with Sidney Crosby and Malkin all your career, you know?
What surprises me is that Fleury wasn't on the 2010 or 2014 Olympic teams.
I actually thought about that because that surprised me too. But when you think about it, are you going to take Fleury or Carey Price? I'll take Price any day, especially back then. And 2010, you had Brodeur, Luongo. Even 2014, I'm pretty sure Luongo was on the team.
True.
So,
Yeah.
it's hard making fucking Canada for any international team because there's so many guys that are talented. It's a lot. I think Canada's the hardest country to make a team for, you know?
I mean, I've always said this, not just because I'm from Canada and I'm a proud Canadian, but I've always said that, the teams that Canada sends to the Olympics, like the 2010, 2014 teams that won gold, you could make an Olympic B team with players that weren't on that team, and they probably still would have won Olympic gold.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That just goes to show the amount of talent that comes out of Canada, not only for goalies, but for players as well. But Marc-Andre Fleury does have a silver medal in the 2003 and 2004 World Juniors.
So number 23, another Winnipeg Jet, Blake Wheeler. He's 6'5", 225, drafted 5th overall in 2004 by the Coyotes, which I wasn't aware of at all.
Neither was I.
Last year, he put up 65 points in 71 games and recorded 22 goals and 43 assists. Over the course of his career, he's played 931 games and put up 761 points with a plus-minus of 100. That's pretty solid for a winger. Normally, you see that plus-minus from a center, as we've seen this list. His best was in 2018 and 19, where he both got 91 points, and he's played in 81 and 82 games of those seasons, respectively. So he plays almost every single game of the season.
Yeah, and I mean, career of 100.
You good?
Hello? Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, I was getting a phone call here. Sorry, broadcasted from my phone, and I got a call. 100 plus minus for Blake Wheeler, which is, crazy. And then 44 power play goals, 38 game-winning goals over his career. So, definitely a great player there for the Jets. He was with the Thrashers, obviously, before Atlanta moved to Winnipeg. But a great player, captain of the Jets. I saw him live a few times. But over the last 3 seasons, he's a point-per-game player, 247 points in 234 games.
And he's a 2-time All-Star on the second All-Star team in 2018. And, sadly, all he has internationally is a 4th place finish in the 2014 Olympics. But
yeah.
Tough being States,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then he got 4th in the 2014 Olympics. Never mind. Sorry, he's from the States. Okay. Yeah. So U.S. got 4th in the 2014 Olympics, which just goes to show you how much better Canada is. Number 22, Andrei Vasilevsky, goaltender of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He was drafted by the Lightning in 2012, 19th overall, Russian national. Andrei Vasilevsky last season was the best goaltender. No doubt about it. 35 wins in 52 games, 2.56 goals against average, .917 save percentage, and 3 shutouts. Over his career, he's been crazy. He already has 21 shutouts in 260 games, 159 wins. So 159 wins, that means you have 101 losses. So I mean, that's pretty damn good numbers for Vasilevsky.
Oh, absolutely. And he's on a hell of a team, so his stats are only going to get better. Three-time
Mhm.
All Vezina in 2019, Vezina finalist in 2018 and 2020. He finally got that Stanley Cup this year with Tampa. This past year in the finals, he played 25 games, won 18 of them, of course. Had a goals against average of 1.9 and a save percentage of .927. So he did his job in the playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's been crazy good with the Russian national team. 2011 World Juniors bronze, 2012 World Juniors silver, 2013, 2014 World Juniors bronze. So he didn't quite get that World Juniors gold, but he played World Juniors. He started when he was 16. He was a goaltender there for Russia. But he won three bronze and one silver World Juniors. And then he got that gold medal in the 2014 World Hockey Championships and then bronze medal in 2017, 2019. So he's had that success. He's got that gold medal with World Hockey Championships with Russia. Vasilevsky is number 22, probably the best goaltender in the NHL right now.
Yeah, definitely top three.
Mm-hmm.
Last one for tonight's list, number 21, Mika Zibanejad. He's 27 from Sweden. He was drafted 6th overall in 2011 by Ottawa. This past year with the Rangers, he put up 75 points in 57 games played with a plus minus of +9. Over the course of his career, he's already played 548 games and posted 384 points with a plus minus of -28, which I think is kind of, he's got an excuse there because he's come from Ottawa and the Rangers, both teams that have either sucked or are on the rebuild. So you can't expect much success from the players there right now.
Yeah, and Mika Zibanejad is another Swedish national. 6th overall. He was taken 6th overall by the Ottawa Senators in 2011. And over the last 3 years, 196 points for Zibanejad with a 26 plus minus in 211 games. And playing internationally with Sweden, he's got a bronze in the U17 Worlds, silver in the 2011 World Juniors, gold in the 2012 World Juniors, and then gold at the 2018 World Cup. All he's missing is a Stanley Cup again. Rangers now, they're going to be stacked. He's got, the Rangers have Panarin, they have Zibanejad, now they got Lafreniere. They're going to have a good team. Rangers might be in the running for a cup, but again, they're in a stacked Metro division, so we'll definitely see. But Zibanejad is definitely one of the best players on the Rangers for sure.
They're in a stacked Metro division, but don't forget that Pittsburgh and Washington are both getting older.
Mm-hmm, absolutely, and Philadelphia is getting better. So
yeah,
that's about it for this edition of Inside the Ice. That was number 40 to 21. There's going to be an article coming out in the next 5-10 minutes, right after this show is done. Just kind of recapping number 40 to 31. 30 to 21 will come out on Tuesday, and then next Thursday night we will be live again to give you the top 20 of our top 50. So definitely stick around for that. And Behind the Basket will come on tomorrow night at 7 Eastern. Do not miss that. But we'll see you guys next week, and look out for that article.
See you guys next week.